Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to College Launchpad Social Sciences Virtual College Fair powered by StriveScan. My name is Sibel. I will be your facilitator for this evening's session. I just want to thank you all so much for being here. We have some absolutely amazing schools and universities to tell you a little bit about themselves, the school they are representing, as well as their social sciences programs. Now, before we get started, I do have some housekeeping items for you all to keep in mind. You are muted and your video is turned off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. So you're probably wondering, well, Sibel, I have so many questions to ask. How do I ask them? Well, that in and of itself is a great question. You will use your Q&A button to type in your questions to the presenters at any time. So if you look at your Zoom toolbar, somewhere in the middle there will be a Q&A button in which you can click and again, type in those questions to the presenters at any time. Please do not wait until the last minute. We do have about a 45-minute session here. So if you do have those questions, please put them in that Q&A all throughout the session. And also please do us a favor. If you could please put the school's name within the question, just so we know who the question goes to, that would be absolutely fantastic. Now, there are many more college presentations that are offered. So this is one out of many, and you can check the schedule on the website. We do have an arts session happening tomorrow, so check those sessions out and sign up, as well as sign up for our other programming in May. And again, you can find that schedule on the website. Now, if mom missed out on tonight, maybe grandma wants to check things out, maybe dad or a cousin or a friend, or maybe you just want to relive the fun, that is totally cool with us because all of these sessions are being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/launch. Now, without further ado, I would love to get started with our first school up for tonight's session. We have Whitworth University.
Hi, everybody. My name is Abigail Hopkins. I'm an admissions counselor at Whitworth, and I have just a quick presentation here. Here we go. So Whitworth is a private Christian school. We're located in Spokane, Washington, which is Eastern Washington State, if you've never been in the area. I like to start off with our mission, which is to provide our diverse student body an education of mind and heart, equipping our graduates to honor God, follow Christ, and serve humanity. And hopefully, as I'm talking, you'll get to see a little bit of how that plays into pretty much everything we do here. But I would love for you to get a chance to visit campus and see how that plays into our academics and our student life and really everything about Whitworth. Like I mentioned earlier, Whitworth is a smaller school. We have 2,300 undergraduate students, and we keep that number pretty small very intentionally because it allows for those other numbers you see on the screen there. So the 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio. Students and faculty have a lot of connection at Whitworth. We have small class sizes. Most of them are less than 30 students. So you really get to know your professors get to know you, you know the other students in your classroom. And for me, that was a huge part of why I chose Whitworth. It's a safe environment to ask questions, and I feel like I learned so much better in that type of space. We have 84% of our graduates finishing in 4 years. We know that college is a huge investment, both of time and money, and so we really want to honor that investment that you make with us. We have a guarantee where if you have been meeting with an advisor and you declare your major by the end of your sophomore year, we guarantee you'll finish in 4 years or we'll pay for the rest of your school. We also have a 95% graduation or post-graduation success rate. So once you graduate Whitworth, within 9 months of graduating, 95% of our students are either employed or in a master's level education program. So really whatever you're looking to do post-college, Whitworth has a good degree for you. We have over 100 different majors and programs at Whitworth, and I know that this is a social sciences webinar, so I'll highlight those. You can see them on the screen there. We have criminology, we have psychology, we have sociology, economics. There's really a lot that you can study. Psychology is actually one of our top programs. It's in our top 5, and then criminology and criminal justice is one of our fastest growing. Whitworth is a liberal arts school, so you get to take a bunch of different classes in your field and outside your field and get to try a lot of different things and take classes that are interesting to you. If you haven't applied to Whitworth yet and you're a senior, there is still time. We'd love to have you. And if you're a junior, applications open up in August, and we're really excited to see those come in. If you're admitted and you haven't filled out your FAFSA, please do that. We'd love to get you your best financial aid offer possible. And then submit your enrollment deposit. May 1's just right around the corner, and we'd love to have you at Whitworth. If you've already deposited, yay, we're super excited. Feel free to fill out that housing preference form and be on the watch for the class registration appointments that are coming up soon. And I went through that even faster than I needed to. So I'm so glad you're all here today. I'd love to answer any questions you have for me in the chat. You can see our contact information is down there. So admissions@whitworth.edu is our email, and we'd love to chat with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Whitworth University. If you have any questions for them, please put it in the Q&A. Next up, we have Pacific University, Oregon.
Perfect. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Derek Magley. I am one of the associate directors at Pacific University, which means I'm one of the people who's going to be working with you when you apply to Pacific and working on your application. But I get to tell you a little bit about our school and the opportunities to become a boxer here at Pacific University, Oregon. So as our name implies, we are a small private liberal arts school in the great state of Oregon. We're located in kind of the northwest corner. So if you've ever been to Portland, Oregon, you're going to kind of head out towards the coast and you're going to go right near our campus. You're also going to have that opportunity, if you are coming from out of state, to be able to fly into Portland International Airport, one of the largest and most popular airports in the US right now, fly in and then use mass transportation to get out to our campus. We're located about 30 minutes to 40 minutes, depending on traffic outside of Portland. So you're able to have that big city right nearby. But Forest Grove itself is a little bit smaller, a little bit quieter, and you are only an hour from the beautiful Oregon coast. So you're going to hear a lot about the adventure that you're going to get to be able to take when you come up to Pacific. You can see the trees and the coast range behind me to be able to get out into the outdoors and enjoy that. And just a few minutes away in the other direction, be able to connect with really big companies in the Silicon Forest. Places like Nike and Xerox and Intel are right near our campus to be able to connect with those students as well. And when you apply to Pacific, you are applying to Pacific. You don't have to apply to a specific major or program or an honors college, because as a small private liberal arts school, we're going to teach you at an honors level, no matter which program you choose here. So you're just going to apply into Pacific. You're going to be able to choose that major, and we'll talk about the opportunities in the social sciences here in a second. But no matter which program you choose, you're going to get that small school feel, where your average class size is only about 19 students. Our large lecture halls only seat about 60 students. You're going to have about 1,900 other classmates at Pacific, but no matter which class you're taking, it's always taught by a full professor, so that you have a person there who's excited to teach you what they know. And much like you just heard from Whitworth, we do also guarantee that you get a 4-year education here at Pacific, that you can be in and out in those 4 years and not have to take extra steps to finish up that degree while you're here. And as far as the social sciences go, we are the top private research university in the Pacific Northwest, and that applies not just to our sciences, but the entire school. So no matter which of these social science programs you look at here, whether that's anthropology, the criminal justice law and society, environmental politics, there's a lot of opportunities for you as a student to not only just take classes in that field, but to do research or do internships. And whether that's in the Forest Grove community or connecting with those larger companies in Portland, you're able to build on that education so that it's not just a degree. And you can start doing those research and internships freshman and sophomore year. You don't have to wait till you're a junior or senior. The other thing to know is if you are thinking about going that social science route and want to take that next step, maybe that's graduate school, we do also offer bachelor's, master's, and doctorates in psychology, opportunities for communication sciences disorders, as well as a master's in social work that can all be sped up by coming to Pacific and doing pathways through Pacific. But no matter which one of these you choose, you're going to have that opportunity to build that resume along with that degree. So last year, over 93% of our graduates were in a career path, in an internship, or were in graduate school. So our students are ready to take that next step right away. But what really sets Pacific apart is the fact that while you're here, we don't just want you studying. Yes, that's an important part of college. We want you to get that education, but we want you to take all those passions, identities, and talents that you already have and to build on those while you're in college, while you're getting that degree in the social sciences. So that might mean joining some of our 70 different clubs and organizations, playing an instrument in our band, acting in a play, being part of the largest student-run luau anywhere on the mainland US. Or maybe that means taking what you're learning in the classroom out into the world and learning about the outdoors. And whether that's learning a new skill, learning how to rock climb, surf on the Oregon coast, or actually building that into a leadership minor while you're at Pacific, or even a leadership major if that's where you want to go. The outdoor adventure is going to have that opportunity to build on those classroom skills. That might also mean joining in some of our sports. And just so you know, at Pacific, some of these students do all four of these things. They have that major, they're in a club and organization, they're in the outdoors, and they're playing a sport at Pacific. And so our students are very busy and they love that part of Pacific. So you can join some of our 24 varsity, 20 intramural, and 10 club sports and be part of the Boxer family while you're here, competing at a very high level and doing all of those other things you love as a student. And to make that all happen, again, you're going to apply to Pacific using the common application. It's the one we use. Ours is completely free. You're going to apply online. And when you apply to Pacific, you're automatically considered for scholarship. So over 95% of our students at Pacific University will receive scholarship towards Pacific to help make that affordable option for you. You're going to have the opportunity to apply in and get academic merit scholarships, which, by the way, are not based on where you're from or what your folks make. This is based on your academics in high school. We are test optional as well. So whether you've taken the tests or you haven't yet, you can apply to Pacific, be admitted, and receive our highest merit scholarships without sending in test scores. But on top of those merit scholarships, you can apply for things like music, dance, theater, gender and sexuality studies, scholarships to build on those talents that you already have in high school. And you're going to hear it a lot, but we love to have you come visit campus. So if you're a junior right now looking at Pacific in the future, you can come to one of our senior preview days next year in person or online and earn scholarship for participating in one of our events. So we'd love to talk to you more. I know these are always a little bit short and we never get quite enough time to give you all the information we want to spend about Pacific. So please feel free to reach out and I will put my contact information in the chat as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. If you have any questions for Pacific University Oregon, please put it in the Q&A. Next up, we have Soka University of America. And unfortunately, they could not be here this evening. So I do have a video to play on their behalf.
Soka University of America is a private four-year liberal arts college and graduate school dedicated to fulfilling the potential of each student and fostering global citizens who will lead a contributive life. Since the Aliso Viejo, California campus opened in 2001, SUA has risen rapidly in national rankings, establishing itself as one of the top liberal arts colleges in the country. SUA is recognized for its outstanding faculty and resources, one of the most diverse student bodies in the country, and the school's exceptional educational value.
Soka University of America is located just a few miles from the Pacific Ocean in South Orange County, California, about an hour's drive south of Los Angeles and an hour north of San Diego. SUA has a proud heritage of being founded on the Buddhist principles of peace, human rights, and the sanctity of life. Its curriculum, however, is non-sectarian. Undergraduate education leads to a BA in liberal arts with concentrations in environmental studies, humanities, international studies, life sciences, and social and behavioral sciences. SUA also offers a master's program in educational leadership and societal change.
A hallmark of Soka education is dialogue-based learning in small seminar classes. Courses delve into both Western and Eastern perspectives, cultivating the type of wisdom and intellect that fosters global-minded individuals. Unique to SUA is that all undergraduate students participate in a semester of study abroad during their junior year. The expense is covered in the regular cost of attendance, reflecting Soka's philosophy of creating relevance between the classroom and the greater world we live in. Soka University of America welcomes top students of all religions and nationalities. In an effort to broaden access to affordable education, SUA offers generous scholarships and need-based financial aid awards. Eligible admitted undergraduate students whose annual family income is $60,000 or less will receive the Soka Opportunity Grant, which covers full tuition.
All undergraduates live on campus. SUA's residence halls are comfortable and distinctive, providing a living environment conducive to developing strong bonds of friendship and supporting each other's growth. Student clubs are also a big part of life at SUA. They span a wide range of interests, from culture and politics to entertainment and the arts. Soka's athletic facilities include a state-of-the-art recreation center, an 8-lane all-weather track, a soccer field, and an Olympic-sized swimming pool. The campus's creative centerpiece is the Soka Performing Arts Center. Its 1,000-seat concert hall and a smaller black box theater bring many of the world's finest musicians and performing artists to SUA.
More than anything, Soka University of America is a student-centered university, with faculty focused on nurturing the potential of every student. SUA's achievements reflect the commitment, hard work, and diversity of the students who pursue their undergraduate education here. In conferring its BA in liberal arts, SUA's commitment to each student is to provide a foundation for creating value throughout life, supporting their development as leaders who will contribute to peace and a more humanistic society. Soka University, fostering global citizens, one student at a time.
All right. Now, if you have any questions, for Soka University of America, please put them in the Q&A and I will please relay it to the representative, or you can visit their website and go ahead and get their information directly. Now, with that said, next up we have Southern Oregon University.
Hello, my name is Ian Parent, and I'm the Associate Director of Admission for Southern Oregon University. As you can see, we're located in a beautiful outdoorsy town surrounded by nature. So if you like the outdoors and nature, we're in a great suburban environment surrounded by all kinds of great stuff. Okay, so where exactly are we? We're in Ashland, Oregon, and Ashland is in the southwestern part of the state, just about 10 minutes from the California border. This blue line here designates the 5 freeway. So if you're in California, just get on the 5 freeway. We are the first stop once you get into Oregon. We also have an international airport in Medford, which is about 20 minutes from our campus. You can fly into Medford on Delta, United, American, Alaska, Allegiant, lots of those big carriers. And the valley where we're located is called the Rogue Valley. It's actually the 4th largest metro area in the state of Oregon, with a little over 215,000 people total. So even though Ashland is in a smaller town, about 25,000, we are 20-30 minutes from all of your big city amenities. Another neat thing about Ashland is we receive over 500,000 visitors and tourists every year. So the economy is very much focused on entertainment. That makes it a really fun place to live and go to school. All right, so a little more about what campus looks like. I actually took this video while riding my bike around campus. So enjoy my views. Hopefully I don't fall off while I tell you about some of our statistics. So we have about 5,000 students total. So for a public four-year university, that's smaller than a lot of the other public universities out there. We're much more similar to a private liberal arts university type feel. Our average class size is 21 and our student to faculty ratio is 20:1. And every single class is taught by faculty. There's no grad students or TAs teaching classes. So you get to know your faculty and your classmates really well. We have 38 majors, but today I'm just going to focus on the social science ones. And if we have time, we'll get to the residence halls and clubs as well. All right, so another thing I like to talk about is the climate. We are in the Northwest, and with that, a lot of people think there's really cold, lots of rain. We're far enough south that we don't have your typical Northwest climate. We average in the low 80s in the summer, low 50s in the winter, and we actually get about half the amount of rain as Portland, and we only get 1 or 2 snowstorms a year. But we do have this nice ski resort right behind campus, about 20 or 30 minutes. So if you are interested in playing in snow, snowboarding or skiing, it is really close by, but you don't have to live with being in the snow at all during the winter. All right, so here are our programs that are offered within the Division of Social Sciences. Our most popular major here is psychology, and that's going to be the most popular major at a lot of places. Within our psychology department, you'll get to do research. You could focus on cognitive psychology, behavioral, research psychology. Another neat program here is criminology and criminal justice. We have one of the oldest criminology and criminal justice programs in the Western United States, and we partner really closely with the Ashland and Medford police forces. They come on campus and do all kinds of fun things with our students. My favorite to watch is the canine experience, where they actually will bring the canines on campus and everybody gets to practice letting those canines loose on fake criminals. It's a lot of fun to watch. We also have a bunch of minors, pre-professional programs. If you're looking at going into law school, counseling, or social work, we have programs for that. Great certificate programs here. A lot of the classes required for certificates are also required for your majors, so it doesn't take a whole lot more to complete one of those. And then we also have a master's degree in clinical and mental health counseling. So if you're looking to further your career in psychology, in counseling, we have a great program there for that. All right, we have a pretty traditional student life program at Southern Oregon. Lots of clubs, over 80 clubs and organizations on campus that are general interest. They're related to athletics, outdoors, civic engagement. You're going to find leadership as a theme throughout campus in many different areas. There are clubs and organizations focused on leadership. Our biggest student organization is the Associated Students of Southern Oregon University. They do a lot to lobby on behalf of students for things like lower fees. They also get to design the buildings when we build new buildings on campus, or at least have a say in designing those buildings. So it's a great way to have your say in actually how the university is run. And then we also have a social justice and equity center on campus, which houses resources for our multicultural students, our Women's Resource Center, Queer Resource Center, Veterans Resource Center, and also sustainability. So we do have 3 residence halls on campus, and they're all rather new, built within the last 6 or 7 years. Great facility with really large rooms, partial divider walls. We also have student apartments and family housing located about 3 blocks off campus. And we also have a really new recreation center and dining hall. So great place to work out. Also pretty good food served on campus. There's a climbing wall. There's even an esports lounge in here. So if you're into gaming, we have a great esports lounge. We also have a competitive esports team and an esports minor. So if you're into that, there's a lot of different opportunities to pursue. All right, we have 3 different tuition and fee structures, Oregon resident, Western undergraduate exchange or WUI residents, and then non-residents. If you're from anywhere in the Dakotas, Colorado, New Mexico, all the way out to Alaska, Hawaii, you'll qualify for the WUI tuition rate. We also have automatic merit scholarships based on your GPA when you're admitted to the university, and a 2.85 GPA will get you a $1,000 scholarship, and that goes all the way up to $12,000 depending on where you're from. Lastly, there's my contact info. If you have any questions, I'll put that in the chat here in a second. But thank you very much for your time and being here.
Thank you so much. If you have any questions for Southern Oregon University, please put it in the Q&A. Next up, we have Gonzaga University.
All right, cool. Thanks, Sibel. Well, hello everybody. My internet was cutting out yesterday, so if you can't hear me, just let me know. But my name is Aaron. I'm an admission counselor at Gonzaga University. We're located in Spokane, Washington. We're a medium-sized liberal arts Catholic school in the Jesuit tradition. So medium-sized, we have about 5,000 undergraduate students, like some of the other universities here. We're located about half a mile from downtown Spokane, the second largest city in Washington state. In the Spokane metro area, we have about 750,000 people. And we are a liberal arts college, so we have 75 different majors. We'll talk about the social sciences that we have to offer. But I think fundamentally what makes us unique or different is our Jesuit education approach. So the Jesuits are an order of the Catholic Church. They were founded a little under 500 years ago. Their goal is to educate critical thinking moral leaders who can use their talents and gifts to make the world a better place. The Jesuits are really passionate about educating and serving people on the margins of society. So if you're passionate about going out into the world and making a difference and just finding ways to contribute back to make the world a better place, then this is a really great place to come and meet other people who feel likewise. Our retention rate is phenomenal. Over 92% of students come back for their sophomore year. It's one of the highest rates in higher ed. Our four-year graduation rate is 76%, well above the national average. Our success rate, so 6 months after graduation, 96% of our students have full-time jobs or doing long-term service projects. And the learning environment that you find here on campus is great. So the average class size is 23. My largest class as a student there was 45 students. My smallest was a class of 1. So it spans the range. And all of our classes are taught by faculty, not TAs. In our College of Arts and Sciences, we have a variety of different options for studying the social sciences, whether it's more traditional areas like psychology or political science. We also have awesome criminology program. Critical race and ethics studies is a minor that just got added a few years ago. Students actually advocated for it to be created as a department, and we're able to work with our dean on creating that as a space for having conversations about the challenges that underrepresented students have in our society. We also have a great international studies program, Native American studies program. Common to all of these are great opportunities for undergraduate research. So we are an undergraduate focused university. You're not competing with master's and PhD students in order to have access to faculty research labs. We have students who are published all the time in local and national journals. We also just have a really phenomenal approach to helping prepare students for postgraduate work. So whether you're interested in psychology and you want to go into like social work, or if you want to go into childhood development, or if you want to be a political scientist to analyze the political economy of the United States or the world in international studies, we will give you a really great, strong education that will launch you into postgraduate or higher level careers. There's tons of things that make Gonzaga special, but honestly, it's our community, the people who feel called to join us from our mission that I was talking about earlier. We have 38 different faiths represented in our student body. So even though we're a Catholic school, you don't have to be Catholic to attend, but only about 40% of our students are Catholic. We welcome everyone. We have a Lincoln LGBTQ+ Resource Center. We have the Unity Multicultural Education Center, both of which support students underrepresented in the college population. And we want to make sure that everybody doesn't just feel welcome on our campus, but feels like they belong and are part of our community. We're a very active school. Basketball is obviously a big thing for Gonzaga, but we have academic excellence too. We're a top 80 university in the nation. All of our students get involved in clubs and organizations. Over 60% will study abroad. Over 100,000 hours of community service are volunteered every year, and over 50% participate in intramurals. If any of that sounds interesting, we would love to have you apply. Our deadline is December 1st. We're on the Common application. Most students coming into our freshman class have between a 3.5 and a 3.9 unweighted GPA. We are test optional, so if you want to submit a test score, you're more than welcome to, but if you don't, we'll increase the weight we give to your grades, the strength of your schedule, and your writing. We offer merit scholarships. We're a private university, but our average scholarship package for students is a little over $26,000 a year. 98% of our students receive merit aid, and we have over 300 employers actively recruiting our students. Our placement rates are top notch. I'm going to put my contact information on the page for a second, and then I'll post it in the chat as well. But I really appreciate you guys coming tonight and letting me speak with you. Looking forward to answering any questions you may have.
Awesome. Thank you so much. If you have any questions for Gonzaga University, please put them in the Q&A. If my panelists and presenters can come on back, I would love to ask you all some questions. Very, very important questions at that. So our first question up is, what's one thing you want students to remember about your social science programs? And we're just going to go in order of presentation. So Whitworth University, you are first.
All right, thank you. I think the thing I would say here is that while our in-classroom experiences are great, I think it's 95% of our students participate in experiential learning opportunities at Whitworth. So that includes research and internships and study abroad programs. And those are really, really strong within the social sciences. I think this coming year we have anthropology in Hawaii. There's a social sciences in Scandinavia trip. So there's a lot of really fun outside the classroom opportunities within the social sciences.
Awesome. Thank you. Pacific University, Oregon.
Sure. So for one thing to remember is if you're that really busy student who has a lot of things going on in high school, but wants to continue doing all of those things in college, Pacific social sciences programs are going to be amazing for you, because you are going to get that top tier education, that hands-on experience, but you're going to join a lot of other students who are very similar to you. So all of our students are advised to be busy, to try out all those different things rather than having to pick just one silo to fit it.
Thank you. Southern Oregon University.
All right, so the one thing I want to say is that every single one of our social science majors can be completed in 3 years if you want to complete them in 3 years. We don't make you take extra credits every term or go to summer school. We actually reduce the number of classes you have to take that are not related to your major. So finishing in 3 years obviously saves you 25% off the cost of your education and allows you to hopefully get a job and start earning money sooner than all of your friends that are still stuck back in college.
Awesome, thank you. And Gonzaga University?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the world is incredibly complicated, and social science programs are awesome at helping you see the world from a variety of different angles. And part of the benefit of studying social sciences at Gonzaga is that you get an interdisciplinary perspective. So you can do a double major in philosophy and political science. You can bring in different aspects of what you want to do and combine all those things in your major and have it undergirded by a common commitment to our mission, which is to address social justice issues in the world. And so if you want to be thinking critically about how you can address deep problems in society using your social sciences degree, Gonzaga is a great place to do that.
Love it. Thank you so much. Now, I do have another question, since we do have an audience here that is going through the college search process. This is my favorite question because I learn a lot from this question as well, and I'm sure our attendees do as well. So what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? What university?
I think the biggest piece of advice I would give is visit the schools in person if you're able, or at least do their virtual tours. The more you can interact with students and the actual campus, I think it really helps you whittle down which schools are going to be actually a good fit for you. You get a feel for kind of the vibe of the campus and the students, and that was probably my most helpful thing in looking at schools.
Awesome, thank you. Pacific University, Oregon?
So one of the pieces of advice I always like to give is to not just focus on one word, because colleges have this really annoying habit where we will all rename something just so we can sound unique. You saw it in our presentations. Many of the majors were the same, but had like a slightly different name. So if you're a student starting this search and you just type in the one word you've ever heard it called or what your folks were called it when they were in college, you're going to miss out on a lot of opportunities. So even if it's just something simple like going into Google and saying, what else is this major called? You'll find a lot more opportunities for you by not just looking for the one word you've always heard it called.
Thank you. Southern Oregon University.
All right, I can pretty well guarantee that in the 6-minute presentations we were able to give, we did not answer even close to all of your questions. So please reach out to us directly, call us, email us, tweet our admissions office Twitter accounts. You can even text us. Whatever is the most important thing to you, whatever you're scared about, worried about, let us know so we can address it directly.
Awesome. Great advice so far. And Gonzaga University, what would you add?
I think that everything that's been said is great advice. I think honestly, letting go of certainty is the important thing. I think that students come into this process, they feel like they need to have their lives planned out, and that college is going to give them that answer. The reality is that you're strong and capable, and you're also 17 or 18 years old. And so give yourself the room to explore, to find new passions, and to let life lead you in weird ways, because college has tons of resources available to you, and the best way to maximize that is to come in with an open mind rather than coming in with a very clear sense of what you think you exactly need to do.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And last but not least, another fun question. What is one myth you'd like to debunk on the college admissions process? Whitworth University, I'm going to put you on the spot. You are first.
That's a great question. I don't know what it's like for other schools, but we want students at Whitworth, so we're not trying to hold you out. We're trying as much as possible to get you to come to Whitworth. So reach out to your counselor. They're really, really happy to talk to you, and I'm sure that goes for all schools. But I think we're not nearly as scary or gatekeeping as people think when they're looking at schools.
Awesome. Thank you. Pacific University, Oregon.
I think one myth I always like to point out is that when you get to college, deadlines aren't actually suggestions, they're really important. So in high school, sometimes you can get away with turning in an assignment a little bit later or a piece of paper a couple days late. In college, when you're applying to schools, yeah, we really want you to come, but you might miss out on money. So deadlines can cost you money when you go off to college. So write them down, put them in big bold letters in your phone, whatever you need to do to actually make sure you get everything turned in before the deadline, rather than close to the deadline, is going to be much more important at the college level.
Awesome. Thank you. Southern Oregon University.
It is not the end of the world if you don't get into the #1 school on your list. I would be surprised if there's a university in the country that's not a good school. The important thing is finding the right fit. The best school for you might be a school that you have never, ever heard of. So back to what Abigail said at the very beginning, try to visit any school that you can. You might be surprised what you find.
Awesome. Thank you. And Gonzaga University.
I'll speak for the way I feel about my job. My job isn't to convince you to come to Gonzaga, it's to help you find the right fit. And if that means in meeting with you that I think that there may be some other opportunities, or if I'm not here to tell you to do a piecemeal thing if it's not really going to work at Gonzaga. I'll direct you to Whitworth. I'll direct you to Southern Oregon. I'll direct you to Pacific, and point out all the amazing programs that they have. I'm here to help you, not just to tell you to come here.
Awesome. Thank you. And as they say, teamwork makes the dream work, right? So awesome advice, everyone. Thank you so much. I definitely learned a thing or two, and I'm sure our attendees did as well. So I just want to thank everyone, my panelists and presenters. You have been absolutely fantastic. Thank you for being here. What you do is extremely important. Also, my attendees, what you do by showing up here is extremely important as well. But remember, I prefaced this by saying it is just an appetizer session. So you learned a little bit of everything, but now it is time to do your due diligence and contact these representatives and visit and research and have a great time with finding the best fit for you. But again, thank you for joining us. Now, after you close this window, a very quick 5-question survey will appear. We literally put the words "very quick" on the screen. Okay, so it is going to be very quick. So please give us some feedback. Again, sign up for more sessions. The arts session of College Launchpad virtual college fairs will be tomorrow. And then we do have some programming for you all in May as well. So sign up for those on the website. And again, if you would like to relive the fun, a recording will be available at strivescan.com/launch. Thank you all again so much. And I hope you have a great night. Bye, everybody.